How often has it happened to you that one of your collaborators reacted to your feedback in ways you didn't expect? This is not rare at all because people differ a lot in their orientation to feedback. The orientation to feedback consists in the willingness and ability to receive, process, and use the feedback received. This manifests itself in sensitivity to seek the point of view of others, confidence in being able to handle well the criticisms received, general tendency to consider feedback as something useful, sense of responsibility to take charge of it and to work on it. Scientific studies show that people's reactions to feedback change considerably, such that only people with high feedback orientation will strengthen their motivation after receiving feedback. On the contrary, for those individuals with low feedback orientation, feedback can be counterproductive, even if well formulated and communicated. What to do then? A first step is to work on yourself in two directions. On the one hand, by reinforcing your own feedback orientation and thus serving as an example for others, such as asking for feedback, welcoming them, and acting accordingly. On the other hand, by developing an empathic attention to others. Psychologists describe empathy as feeling incongruence with others. Showing others empathic attention means expressing interest in their well-being and being able to look at things from their perspective. Especially in a feedback conversation, this ability can be crucial, helping you to better choose your words and make your communication warmer and less judgmental. The other person will, therefore, be more willing to accept your comments, despite a possible lack of feedback orientation, because such an approach sends a clear message, namely that you understand their difficulties and that the feedback you give is exclusively for their welfare. A second step is to know who you have in front of you and adjust your communication around the characteristics of their personality, giving more or less importance to the different aspects that define a good quality feedback. A widely accepted model describes personality based on 5 characteristics, known as the Big Five: extroversion, agreeableness, conscientiousness, emotional stability, openness. Extroverted people usually have good self-confidence. Thus, they tend to process well negative feedback. While they may not gain much for their self-confidence from positive feedback if this is not specific enough. Introverted people, on the other hand, may have more difficulty in processing feedback, especially the negative one, and should be encouraged to express their point of view to make feedback a truly dialogical conversation. Agreeable people are selfless and cooperative, which is also evident in feedback conversations, so they are unlikely to take criticisms personally. Positive feedback may, in particular, be valued as a sign of appreciation of their qualities. People with low agreeableness, on the other hand, will likely show themselves as even more closed when receiving feedback, which may be experienced as a threat. In these cases, it is important to focus the comments on the behaviors and actions to avoid the perception of a personal attack. Conscientious people are responsible and reliable people, which makes them particularly sensitive to improvement goals, which typically follow negative feedback. Positive feedback can also be well received, acting as a reinforcement to keep the level of motivation high. On the other hand, people who are not very conscientious could risk benefiting little from the criticisms received. For lacking perseverance and dedication, it is therefore important to adopt a problem-solving approach to help them devise strategies and different ways to act in the future. Emotionally stable people tend to be balanced, with low levels of anxiety and stress. This makes communications with them very fluid, both in the case of negative and positive feedback. Conversely, less emotionally stable people easily doubt about their own abilities and risk entering a dysfunctional circle of rumination following negative feedback, while they need constant boosters of confidence through positive feedback. Finally, open people usually welcome new ideas and tend to be curious, including in relation to the perspectives of others. In this sense, one can expect a balanced and motivated reaction following negative feedback and the need to combine positive feedback with new stimuli. Conversely, People with low openness can easily enter denial, and feedback comments will need to be very specific and well detailed. To sum up, you can give more effective feedback by empathically putting yourself in the shoes of the recipients, by showing openness to receive feedback yourself, and by adjusting your communication to the personality traits of the person in front of you.